Hello and welcome to the course orientation for the Earth Science or SCI03 course. My name is Ma'am Aubrey. You can call me Ma'am Aubrey or Ma'am Obs, and I will be the instructor for your course. To give you a heads up, this is not as challenging as the other core science courses, so not as challenging as physics or chemistry, but definitely as important, since Earth Science will be tackling theories that concerns the state of our planet. Okay, so it gives you a perspective of what is actually happening in our planet right now. Okay, so to give you some details about the course overview, so the course title is Earth Science, the course code is SCI03, and this is considered as a core subject by DepEd. In MCL, we count this course with 3 units, so definitely a major subject. And the number of hours per week is designated as 3 hours. So that means 3 sessions per week. If you took your grade 11 in MCL, we had 4.5 hours per week when it comes to the units. But since we have shifted to the semestral schedule, that's now 3 hours per week. Okay, so I'll give you more information about that later. Then, the course instructor, that's me, Aubrey P. Alagos, that's my full name. To give you like a quick background about me, I graduated from the University of Santo Tomas. I am a licensed teacher and I have been teaching in MCL for a couple of years now. So during my free time, I like to write, watch videos, play games, and also do some arts and crafts on the side. So hoping to learn about you and get to know you more throughout the semester. Okay, so what is our course setup? So for all our lessons, our discussions, lessons will be pre-recorded with interactive videos which will be linked through BBL. If you have not experienced interactive videos yet, kindly check our Module 1 if it's already there. Or I will upload it as soon as I can. So if you do see it, check out the Module 1 if you want to see what these interactive videos are. Then, of course, PowerPoints will be uploaded through BBL, and I may assign simulation and extra readings if needed be. For our certain lessons. Then I would like to highlight that collaborative sessions will be held once a week. So I have mentioned that we are considered like 3 sessions per week. So what will happen is the two days will be for your own consumption. So you can watch our pre-recorded lectures or do some activities. But for the 3rd session, we will have a collaborate session, and that's again once a week. So I have already prepared a designated schedule for each section. So it should be uploaded in BBL while you're watching this. So kindly check that out for your collaborate session schedule. Okay, so what will we do during the collaborate sessions? We will have consultations. If you have any questions about the activities and about your grades, definitely you can talk to me through our collaborate sessions. Then review if some major assessments are coming up, like monthly long tests and quarterly assessments, then we can have our review sessions. Then group activities. So collaborate sessions will be more important now, since what will happen is, since it is quite difficult to conduct group activities since we are in distance learning setup. So what will happen is during our collaborate sessions, I may assign the group activities so that you guys could work together better, and I will be there to facilitate the activity. So definitely highly recommend to attend our collaborate sessions in the future. Again, our weekly schedule will be announced through BBL. Okay, so that's our course setup. What will be our modes of communication? So of course messages, you can message me through Blackboard if you need anything. Then I will also post like Freedom Wall. So there's gonna be a discussion board wherein you can post anything you want as long as it's respectful. It can be related to the course, it can be a question, or it can be a message to the rest of your classmates. Then I can reply there if needed be. So I can read your concerns and other questions. And also, students are also encouraged to reply to one another. Again, it's a freedom board, so you can do with it as you will. Okay, so number 3, Outlook or Microsoft Teams. You can email me if you want to be really professional. You can email me at apalagos@mcl.edu.ph, or you can send a message through Microsoft Teams. You should be able to use Microsoft Teams now as a student, so just use your Microsoft Live email and then you'll be able to log in. And of course, number 4, Messenger. So Messenger has really worked for us during the past online term. So now I am assigning the class representatives to create a GC specifically for our class. So class representative, if you're watching this, you know what to do. Find me on Facebook and then let's talk. Okay, and then when it comes to communication, remember internet etiquette, and that includes what time you can actually communicate with me. So I wake up very early. I am awake already at 7 a.m. So if you have concerns and you're already awake by then, just message. And before 9 p.m., of course. So we all need our rest. So please just message me or contact me between those times, 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Okay, so let's talk about your syllabus and your course schedule. So for those who are not aware, we have shifted from, let me just move myself. Okay, we have shifted from a tri-sem setup to a semestral setup. So we have 2 semesters for a single school year. Okay, so for the SCI03 course, that will be covered throughout the first semester, which will run from August to December. And one semester is divided into 2 quarters, including your SCI03. So for our SCI03, we'll have, during the first quarter, we'll have 1 monthly long test, a quarterly exam, a performance task, and some activities. So computing that will result to a first quarter average. Then we'll move to the second quarter, still in your SCI03. We'll have your second monthly long test, second quarterly exam, and your performance task 2, some activities, and then which will result to a second quarter average, which both average will be useful whenever we will be taking your general average for the whole grade 12 school year. So that's now the new setup following the original DepEd schedule. So using this setup, this is how we arranged your syllabus. Okay, so this is in Word format, my apologies, but it will be available in PBL in a PDF format. Okay, so to give you an overview of what's in our syllabus, so we have divided the topics by modules. So module 1 will be about universe and the solar system. By the way, the syllabus is very useful if you want to check our weekly schedule. So what will we do per week is already designated in the syllabus. If we will diverge from the syllabus schedule for some reason, then I will update you about it, of course. Okay, so you can see that we already have what activities we're gonna do, the topics that we will be discussing, and what type of assessment is assigned for that particular week. Okay, so during week 1, we'll be discussing the universe and the solar system. So since we are trying to understand the Earth system, we have to understand how it was actually formed. Okay, so we have universe. So we'll be discussing how the universe was formed, how the solar system was formed, and eventually how the Earth, of course, was formed as well. Then we have your module 2, looking at the Earth subsystems. Okay, and then module 3 will look at minerals. Module 4 will look at the different types of rocks, which I know you're very familiar. Next, we'll be discussing energy sources. What are the energy sources on Earth? Which ones are good? Which ones are bad or sustainable? 7 and 8 will be talking about water and soil resources. Then module 9 will be discussing wastes. And then that should be coverage for your quarterly assessment. So you will see here what is the coverage already for the incoming exam. So a very useful document for you. Okay, so as you can see, that already specifies the coverage for our first quarter. So for Module 1 up until Module 9, that's the coverage of our first quarter, thus having the first quarterly exam. And then for the week 10, we'll have a brief pause in the academics, but we'll work on your performance task. And the submission for the performance task is already in the week 10. Don't worry, I will discuss the performance task already in this video so that you can already think of how you're going to start, and if you want to start working on it, then yeah, it will give you a head start. Okay, so once we have accomplished the performance task, we'll be discussing geomorphic processes, so things that happen out on the Earth's surface and also within the Earth. Okay, and then you also have plate tectonics. So what is within the plate tectonics theory, how is our continents and plates rather are actually moving. Then during the week 14, we'll have your second monthly long test. Then our discussion resumes. We'll be discussing the history of the Earth. So discussion of how organisms evolved through time, the mass extinctions, the ages of the dinosaurs. So very exciting stuff. And then we'll also have relative and absolute dating. So how do we actually pinpoint the time period where the fossils come from? So we'll learn about that stuff at week 16 to 17. And by week 18, that will be our second quarterly exam, thus closing your second quarter. Then we'll focus on your performance task on week 19 and 20. Okay, so that should be the coverage of our syllabus. Okay, so let's discuss about your grade components. So SCI03 grade components. So this is per quarter, because again, as I said, we will have a separate computation for the first quarter and second quarter. So for the monthly tests, that's 10%. Quarterly assessment is 25%. Online tasks, so anything that I ask you to submit, assignments, quizzes, and other activities will be 15%. Then for your performance task, it's 50%. So that's the good news about these core subjects. Performance task is a large chunk of your score, so you can focus or do really good in your performance task and you will still get a high score in our course. So there will be 2 performance tasks, 1 per quarter. Okay, so since the performance task is 50% of your quarterly average, let's go ahead and discuss it already. So for the first performance task, you'll be tasked to submit a position paper. So in an effort to fight against #fake news and promote science literacy, students are tasked to debunk misconceptions about earth science. So I'll be providing you a list in which you will choose 2 topics, and again, with those 2 topics, you will provide informed arguments against each statement. So you will be asked to use 3 scientific sources in providing your arguments. You may also use data graphs and images in providing your arguments. I also provided here already the format, so it's in paragraph form, the file type, the number of words, and how you will actually arrange. So for example, as I mentioned, you will choose 2 topics. It should have its own introduction, provide counter arguments, and finally provide a conclusion, then also your sources. Okay, so these are the topic choices. So as you can see, these are usually the #fake news that circulates online, but for some reason they still circulate. Some are misconceptions that people have, and maybe you might have when it comes to earth science. But hopefully, once we finish the course, you will have already informed arguments against each statement. So they're really fun. They're really fun statements or #fake news to read through. And yeah, enjoy choosing which topic piques your interest the most. Okay, so once you have already made the paper, the position paper, you'll submit that to me and I'll provide you with feedback. Now that you already have your submitted paper and with feedback, it's time to use that for the second quarter. So for the second quarter, you'll choose one topic from your written paper. Remember, we asked you to write 2. So you'll choose one topic from the paper that you wrote, and then you'll provide an oral presentation. So a video oral presentation discussing the contents of the paper. So this oral presentation will be uploaded through YouTube, and then you will submit the link through BBL. And of course, since you have done so much good work in creating your paper and oral presentation, the best oral presentation will be shared to the rest of the class. So we will have informed arguments against all the fake news statements that I have provided to you. Right. So I already have the rubrics as well, so you will know what to focus on if you want high scores in your performance tasks. So content is definitely important, as well as organization, writing mechanics, timeliness, so submitting on time, and including the sources in your work. So this is the rubrics for the position paper. The oral presentation as well is already provided. Then as the syllabus have stated, these are the deadlines. So for the position paper, its deadline is at the end of week 10. Then for the oral presentation, it's the end of week 19. Then we'll use the last week, the week 20, for consultations and makeup activities if needed be. Okay, so that should conclude my presentation for Earth Science. So if you have any inquiries, questions, clarifications, we'll have a collaborate session soon. You may want to say or voice out your concerns or questions to me during the collaboration session, or if you want, you could already message me through the different communication channels that I have provided. That's all. Stay safe. Bye.